Beauregard Rippy here in West Jefferson, Ohio. Monday, September the 2nd, Labor Day weekend. They're having their ox roast. They've been doing for over 70 years. And they cook 5,000 pounds of roast beef in the ground. The 3699 ranch is less than an hour away from here, and if you ask anyone around home, no one's ever heard of this. People have their own little thing. Actually, there's a construction site west of town. It's one of the larger ones I've ever seen, and it's kind of funny how they'll have a construction site that big. They were working right through all the muddy weather we had. It didn't stop them. They pumped all the water out. They dug ponds, and they've got, I don't think they have a roof on it yet. I mean, it's big as most cities, and there's no sign that says what they're going to do there, like, because the Amazon's across the road from it, and an Ace Hardware distribution, a FedEx distribution, or whatever's over there, industrial park, and there's no sign that says what it is. So first thing I asked when I seen someone here at the show, I says, what is that, you know? And they said about medical services, and that's what they said. But I read up on how they do this, and they dig the pit different years, and the pit's 140 feet long, 4 foot wide, and 4 foot deep. 5,000 pounds of meat. I mean, if that was $6 a pound, that would be what, $3,000 in meat. I'm gonna stay on this side. And then they use 30,000 pounds of sand. 60,000 pounds, I'm sorry, 30 tons. They probably use more than that. They use the bundles of the sawmill wood and start the fire at 5, sort of. They do shovel by hand. I thought they would have used it, but the meat's going to come out of here within the next hour. There's a bicycle competition and where they jog, a marathon. Those are two separate ones, but it's covered. There's actually some kind of a paper tarp of some sort. I can feel the heat over here from the coals. They build the fire up 3 times, and before midnight the meat goes on and starts getting covered up, however they do that. But before that, the meat goes to the high school, and they season the meat with rub. The 5,000 pounds, I'm thinking that's maybe like 6 skids. And it goes into a reefer truck, and it comes over here, goes in the ground, starts getting covered up with the 60,000 pounds of sand, or it's underneath it, and however they do that process. And then the steel, like on there, the barn siding goes on, and more sand and dirt goes over top. And then they use a different pit different years, so they'll have to move it around. Next year it'll be on over here, or however they do that. I thought they might have a permanent structure here. It's kind of funny how I'm like the only person back here. There's a lady shooting with the bikes. There's some bikers back here, but they have like golf course rakes, or a pond rake, and just normal spades. We had it's just now pushing past 70 degrees. We've had like record best gardening weather here, and then about 5 o'clock a thunderstorm will break out, maybe, if we're lucky, because we could use the rain. I was pulling plants out there today because we had an inch of rain. It rained all at once, and it all went down the gutter. It didn't soak into the ground, because you go down the ground that far and it's dry, even though we had that inch of rain. So then they sell tickets for 5,000 sandwiches, which they're, I think, sold out ahead of time. After 70 years, they've got it down to a system, okay? And it's some of the people that volunteer, I mean, their grandparents volunteered when they were kids, so it's multi-generational at this point. Then they have an auction off roast beef, I think. I've only been here for 5 minutes, never been to one before, and the whole crowd's over here in the rides. We'll do a video from up there. There is a car show here today, but I was interested about the roast beef, the ox roast part of it. They have queens every year, and they have a little miss, a junior miss, and a miss. So they have three categories of queens. And yeah, for this time of day, I mean, this place is packed. Well, I guess the races were this morning when it was cooler out. So yeah, he was. They're actually having problems moving the cars out of the road. They're up there on their radios saying, people got to move their cars because there's just so many people here. But yeah, the ox roast over here in West Jefferson, Ohio on historic Route 40, the National Road, on Labor Day weekend. Thanks for watching my videos, everyone. Bogart Rippy.